What up, Jay?
What's that?
Oh, that's what. Got it. Never mind. All right, let me send this quick note. Okay, got it. Save. How's your team doing, man?
50-50. Some are doing all right. Some are struggling. So
Do you think that those that are struggling because they're not getting the support they need, or because they're not putting in the effort? What do you think it is?
I mean, I revamped my entire sales team earlier this year. So there's a lot of new folks that are they don't know what they don't know yet. And so it's taking time to get them ramped up, and then to decide, are they going to make it or are they not going to make it? Right. So I think I got a very new green team of salespeople. So there's potential with some of them, and then there's others that I'm a little bit on the fence with. So
Yeah.
I think it's partially that they need more help, they need more training, and I onboarded 4 new salespeople in the past 3 months, so it's a lot, and they're not like, I'm used to onboarding like 1 new rep a quarter, not completely shifting to a whole new team of brand new folks. So yeah, there's definitely training and help that they need, that they're probably not getting as much as they should. So
if I could give some advice as I'm thinking about it here, whenever no matter how many people you hire, it's like, for whatever reason, the way the world works is always in a bell curve. And so like, you're going to have 1 rock star, you're going to have 2 on the fences, and 1 that you're like, I think this guy kind of stinks. So it's like, whenever you do hire, you should always assume you're going to make at least 1 bad hire. And as a result, you should keep hiring.
Yeah.
Because I tell everybody, if you're going to hire 4, hire 5, or even hire 6, because you're going to get along. That's number 1. So you probably need to actually go start hiring, because you're just going to make the decision in a month or 2. Hey, Jake is working out. And then they're going to go, should you hire someone? You're going to go, yes. And then you're going to miss your number, because you're going to go, well, we didn't have Tony early enough, and it's on you for not making it.
Right.
That's number 1. And then number 2 is, if you didn't already build it into onboarding, it's too late now. But in onboarding, try to give yourself the exact numbers that you want them to be doing every week, every month, or whatever, so that there is no subjectivity. It's just like, you must be at X number of dials, even if it's like inputs, like as small as that. So it could be like, if someone didn't do this in this period of time, I wouldn't want them on my team.
Right.
So that way it's a little bit cleaner.
Yeah. Definitely. No, I was going to say, I'm definitely improved with like the KPIs and the tracking, and being able to look at that each week. Because before there was a lot of like, just making decisions based on gut, and like, yeah, he's not performing, but like, I don't know why. Right. So at least now I know, okay, hey, he's putting in, the emails and the meetings and the phone calls and all that sort of stuff. And okay, maybe it's the messaging now that we need to tweak.
Yeah, you're able to dial in. That's awesome, man. Thank you for sharing that. And that's great. All right, cool. Well, we're 6 minutes in, it's just you and I. Is there a certain topic that you might want to discuss? Otherwise, I'm just going to talk about where I'm at: hiring, onboarding, KPIs, and that stuff. So is there a topic that you're keen to chat about?
Yeah, I mean, like the I guess around the KPIs, whatever you can share around that. Like, I think I've made great progress and great headway there, but like, I know there's things that I need to continue to tweak and improve. So,
and then, do you guys have any lockdown on AI, like just Gemini or just Copilot or something?
So we're using Claude. And I'm trying to like standardize how they're doing it, how they're using it, because everybody's like using it a different way. And like, with all these new people, there's a lot of people that are trying to use it, but it's garbage in, garbage out, because they don't know how, they don't know the sales process well enough, and our business well enough. So like, they're trying, but so right now I'm engaged with a company that's I'm basically saying, okay, I want the prospecting agent to do this, and everybody has to use it in this fashion, rather than them kind of flying by the seat of their pants and everybody's doing something differently, thinking it's, successful, and maybe they're just pumping out garbage to the potential new clients.
That's pretty cool, actually, how you're using it though for prospecting with the agent. Well, I'll bring a couple of ideas to you then. Claude is so good, and everybody's not using it. So one thing, so I sent to Claude this for this company. Claude has access to all of their numbers, and I just sent whatever the prompt was, but I'm pretty sure it was like, go write me a monthly business review and use this as a template. It doesn't look as clean as I'd like it to look because it's supposed to look like this. Colors more better with bullets, but what I gave it was the exact same monthly business review template that you have in the HQ doc, to be able to say like, here's what's happening, and then like support it by stats. Here's what's happening and support it by stats. So one thing you could do is do this weekly, monthly with yourself to be like, hey, can you tell me, look at all of our numbers and tell me what's going on? If you can plug it into your Salesforce or your HubSpot, or if you can pull from your Salesforce or HubSpot all the info out and then say, here's a spreadsheet, tell me. So that's that I'm doing.
That's so what I'm doing right now is like, I'm basically pulling the data out of the CRM, and then I'm doing like a weekly, like, hey, can you do a summary? Basically a sales team scoreboard that's going to show, deals closed, new deals created, meetings, like, and basically, use that not only for my team meetings, but then also for my individual one-on-one syncs to look at, how they're performing. So I think the only thing that's not giving me right now is probably more looking at like week over week or month over month, right? Like, it's just more of like, here's what happened last week, but it's like, are they improving? Are they not? Right.
Yeah. All you really got to do is just update the prompt then to be like, can you include like a comparison week over week or month over month?
Yep.
Other thing I'm using it for, I used Claude Code for this, which was like way less intense than I thought it was going to be. But I told Claude Code, I was like, yo, I want to reach out to all these managers every day, either with like positive or negative feedback. It's hard to keep track of it all. Can you look at all of the data and who's on everybody's team? And can you give me a rotating thing to say to everybody that's based on actuals? So it's like, yo, Anthony, these guys on your team are doing this. Might want to give them like a fucking positive feedback or whatever it is. So these are some notes. And then I send them so he doesn't know they're from AI, but it's like, it does it for me. So another thing that you can do here. I have a lot more to do with AI to bring it to the house though. I still think though, I do want to show this to you. Anyways, I know I've shown these kinds of things, but it's helpful, and we can talk about other stuff too. All right. So when I'm thinking about numbers, okay. So this is that same company I'm working with now. So they knock on doors to do roofs. So they knock on the door, if the person opens, if the person agrees to be like, hey, can we get a guy on your roof to inspect your roof? Claims, it's like, after we get a guy to go on your roof, can we, and he sees there's an issue, will you put in the work to like put a claim into your insurance company? Once you do that, the next thing is like a third party adjuster has to come to like approve, say like, hey, it's worth X dollars, and then they buy. And so input, these are all sort of inputs. That's the output is jobs. And these are the throughputs, just percent of these that go to this, these go to this, these go to this, and so on and so forth. So I want to give you an idea of how I think about this. And I want you to think about your team and how you might do something similar. So the first thing I look at is just snapshot. The next thing I look at is I've got actual per rep per day or per rep per week. So this is pretty activity heavy company, as you can imagine. Like actual per rep per week is like 130 doors. You guys probably aren't writing 10,000 emails. So that may not be relevant to you, but it might be, you might want to see like average, here's the actual average per rep might be a thing you'd see instead of this. You want to see that average per rep going up, obviously. Now we've got the goal number. So that's a simple calc to show percent to goal, which you've seen me do a bunch. So I can now see like, hey, top of funnel stuff, we're crushing. But for some reason right here, we stink at getting inspections after claims from inspections. So all of this stuff is bottlenecked. And the reason this is green and this is not is because of this one number right here. All I have to do is fix this one thing. It's fairly clear where to fix. Okay. Obviously, I'm looking at it over different time periods, which is cool. This is not important. They have a big team. So I don't think you need, but this is like, I wanted to show like who's the best at doors, who's the best at opens, inspections, claims, or whatever. So I can just see like in general, like, hey, who's our best and worst at each thing. But I do use this to give feedback in here. And then that way, like next week when I do another meeting with the managers, I'm like, what's happening with Houston? You said he was crushing. Is he still crushing? This is an interesting one. So I give everybody this goal. We basically were like, if we can get 10 10 claims or 6 jobs, everybody hits their number. So I simplified their target as opposed to thinking about everything. I'm like, only these 2 KPIs do I care about. So you have to get 10 or 6. And I made this whole thing about it where it's like, if you operation open window, if you do this, you're going to get recognized. If you do it again, we're going to really formalize recognition. If you do it 3 times in a row, we can make you more money. If you don't, we're going to turn off your leads. 2 weeks in a row, you're on a PIP. 3 weeks in a row, maybe an extension, maybe we're fired. 4 weeks in a row, doesn't matter who you are, you're fired. So I clarified this for reps, and then I have the same thing for managers so that I'm like, yo, you guys can get fired. Okay, so I have this 10-6 thing going. So what I created here is it's just hit or miss. This is nice. Oh, I can see every percent to goal for every single person for every day of the week. And then it's like, cool. Did you hit it or did you miss it? I don't fucking care. It's a really clear way to see who's doing well and who's not doing well. And then this is just a different visual. This is a different visual, which shows pace horse. So we are 13 weeks. This quarter is 13 weeks. We're 8 through it. So we're 61% through. So the horse is at this point. So everybody should be at this line to be exactly at pace. These guys are above pace. And I have this for all the different things. So you can see just a little differently, like how far away am I? Where do I need to get to? Just another way to view it. So I wanted to show this so that I could get you to think about, is there another way I could visualize the KPIs? Like, is it like this? Should I put it into a website where people can look at it on their phone more easily versus having to like go find the Monday mashup or see that email from me, but they can just access it, whenever. And you can see it. So this is how the VP of sales has it in some Excel right now. And when I was showing him percent of quotas and stuff, like this is like you are 66% of where you need to be. But he was like, I don't get it. And then we did this and he's like, I get it. It's the same info. So maybe there's different ways your team cares to look at it.
Visual is always best.
Yeah. Sure. And this is just, you built this site out. Did you use Claude? What did you use to build this?
Yeah, Claude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, because right now my reports are like, I'm updating them each week by feeding the information from the CRM. Like, how are you then feeding the information in to get this updated?
So every time, every week, let me share my, where is it? So I pulled this out of the CRM. There's just like some standard CRM report, whatever.
Yeah.
And then I went to Claude, and I'm probably gonna be able to find the thing, but I was just like, hey, can you look at this file? And here's what each VV means this, VH means this, whatever. Can you update it in here? And so now, wherever the fuck I am, do I exist anywhere? Yeah, now when I upload here, so I'll just do it right now. I think it's already been done, but it's like, cool, I just did it. And just let me know somewhere wrong. So that's an update I need to make.
Okay.
But then all of it's going to upload, all of it updates in here accordingly, which is very nice. The other thing I wanted to bring is you want to be able to start comparing people. So in this company, these are like different levels, like new, super experienced, or whatever. So a lot of times I'll look at shit and they're like, yeah, but that's like an S1's job. So I'm the manager. I'm actually killing it. I'll be like, okay, well, why don't we take the S1s out? Well, what about the new guys? All right, cool. Let's take out the new guys. So you may have things like, oftentimes what I would report on internally would be like new reps versus old reps. So it was like, as a team, half of our team is performing. However, 100% of our new reps are performing. So it's actually just a old rep problem. So it can be helpful to potentially consider something along these lines too. Cool. So those are just a few things to sort of get you thinking about KPIs. Oh, I should say this. The other thing that I did, you have to, I created this same thing. I was just like, hey, can you, Claude, in whatever tab this is, in the My View tab, can you look at everybody's info on my team and identify anybody who is like substantially below where they need to be or above where they need to be and tell me either to coach them or to praise them. And so it's saying like, yo, your team's converting at 26. Team converts 26. This guy's Brad's peers are converting at 49. Maybe you should go ask this general manager to go do a ride along. So it gives you pretty specific things. This one too. Team is averaging 18. Others teams are doing 29. Talk to this GM about accountability. And then I think even if I go into those people, I have this same thing. It's like, hey, you got to talk to these reps this week. This guy was what he did this week versus last week. This week versus last week. So a couple of these are, I also have those things listed here where it says like, hey, this is a skill issue because his like conversion rate is low. This is a will issue. His number, he's doing 23 doors, most do 40, is below. So I immediately am like, who has a skill issue? Who has a will issue? What is the actual thing I should be doing? Tell me who I should give feedback to, who I should be coaching, that kind of a thing. Cool.
And that's individual. And do people have to log in here to see it, or can they
they do not need to. However, I turned it on because one rep was fired and he got pissed and he went through here and he was like screenshotting stuff and he was like writing messages because I also have this inbox place where you can be like, hey, like, dude, you're crushing. And it shows up like on this wall. He was like, fuck you, you suck. So I then put a password on it, but it's like a simple pass. It's like your name.
I mean, just to access the content.
No, like if you.
I mean, what I'm saying is like, you automated this to like the boss, so he gets his to-dos in an email in the morning versus I got to log in.
I have not, because the way that I've laid it out, I could. They have these checklists of things to do. And so now, in addition to the checklist, I'm like, he's already going to look at this checklist because he has to look at this checklist. Now this is added dynamically to his checklist instead of being like an email, but then he also checks. He's already checking this.
Got it.
And then it dynamically updates here. Something else I've done in here. I took it out because it got kind of like just full of stuff. But here we have this. So this is showing like, hey, you're behind. This is how you get back. So this is like I just thought through like, what are the things I would do as a manager? I'm going to look at my rep and be like, yo, man, are you on pace? If you're not, I'm going to try to figure out how to get you on pace. I'm going to look at each of your individual items and compare you to everybody else and be like, is it a will issue, a skill issue, or are you crushing? And I'm going to coach you or push you on will, skill, or crushing. So this is my inspecting. Are you doing what you should be doing? This is my coaching on a will, skill, or whatever. And then at the end of the day, I would give this person feedback. But if it was good feedback, it would be good feedback. Another thing I added in here was I just tied this to my Claude so that reps could mess around, because reps were like, I don't understand. So they could come in here now and be like, I can ask a question and it's just going to my Claude. So
through your API?
Yeah, you just have to like, you go to Claude and you click like add API, get API key. That's it.
Yeah.
But now I can be in here and ask questions. A fun thing I did that I took down because it was taking up too much space, but people liked it, was I added a section that just said summarize whatever I'm looking at in the style of Shane Gillis. So it was like a little bit like a roast. And it was cool because people would get there and it'd be like, dude, and I said add an analogy. I go, make an analogy, tell me what's going on, and roast me like Shane Gillis. So it'd be like, hey, man, you're like Rudy. You're doing everything you possibly can, but you just can't seem to get the numbers there. This week, I would really focus on your conversion rates. And then it'd be like some joke. But people like to tune in, so it got them in here a bit. But also, it's kind of a fun thing for reps to be able to be like, can you just fucking shoot me straight? I don't want to see like 18% minus 13, but technically I'm on pace for 34. It's like, dude, you're being Rudy right now, or you're like a good bowl of spaghetti, but the meatball keeps falling off, or like something for you to get it, you know? So anyway, it's just knowing that you're doing Claude, I'm just like, take your stats, put them somewhere like this, I think might be more valuable. but more importantly, start doing the do things like send this person feedback if, send me an email if, remind me to give positive praise or whatever it is.
Sure.
All right, cool. Now we're talking KPIs. Stay on that trend here. 12. Why is this not downloading? Let me go here for a sec to start this off. All right. So I said this before. Pipe. What frontline managers look at is how many new deals do we get? What percent of them are closing, and how many closed? As you get better, you start to look at over time and group by a certain variable. Meaning, I want to look at like I was showing a minute ago, like how many deals we created over time grouped by rep, S1 versus S2 versus S3, for example. By region, I can look at it by region. By manager, I can look at it by manager. And that's just in that app. However, you could do it by size of company or anything else you could possibly make. So anytime, any analysis that you do, whether you're doing it or having Claude do it, give them this to be like, I would like you to evaluate all of our pipe in, through, and out, group everything by as many variables as you could possibly consider, and then spit out whatever. Okay. I'll show this. So I always and you could also give this to Claude too to say, I want you to always look at quantity, quality. Forget type for a second here. Quantity and quality. So this is like, do we need to do more of that item, or is that item not doing well? So this, for example, you're looking right now at, you mentioned you've got, let's say, ops created, and you've got maybe activities or emails, but maybe the messaging's wrong. So it'd be amazing if we could track every single thing of all time, right? But to give the example, it'd be amazing if you could be like, can you show me book meetings per subject line, book meetings per general? Oh, nice. Thanks, buddy.
Celebrating.
Yeah, that's right. Book meetings per time of day, book meetings per sequence, those would let you know, like, is it the messaging, or is it the subject line, or the time, or the sequence itself? So you could start tracking things that way. Should you be able to have those things tagged appropriately? That's what you want to do. When it comes to quality, you constantly want to do it like per variable. The thing I want to highlight here, this is a dashboard you might look at. Obviously, we want to know what percent you're at and revenue. The pipeline per stage and pipe per forecast. This is that view of like, how good are the deals that I have? So I can look at them in one of two ways. The pipeline per stage is to be like, which ones are towards the finish line? And then per forecast is like, which ones are looking good? Because it's like, I don't know about a good football term, but like you may have a running back who just ran 98 yards, for the last 9 plays. So like, he's right at the finish line, but he's probably not the guy you're going to want to go to because he's fucking gassed. Whereas somebody else might be. And that's the difference between the stage and the forecast category. Stage is like how close to the finish line. Forecast category is how likely. So this is a good way to be like, how healthy is our pipe? And just looking at the number is not useful. It's like, what percent of it is in like the top stage? And these 3 things I want to highlight too, because your quarter always works or doesn't work almost every time because of some swing deals. It's everything else has to happen right. But like, no one's ever like, yeah, we had a great quarter. We had some swing deals. Didn't really matter. But we just overall did everything right. That's not what happens. It's always a swing deal. So you got to make sure you're tracking this. And then the slipping deals, this, if possible, I would put into Claude to be like, email me this every day and email the rep every day and have the rep right back to me. Yo, what are you doing? This is you seeing the forest. So you might define this as deals where there's no activity in 7 days. It's a certain stage and no activity in a greater period of time. If the deal is very big, I might have the slipping be a little bit more tight. Like, there's less than 1 contact. That's a slipping deal. And then now deals, this is just like, what are the deals that are coming in this week? This came from every company I worked at. My boss would be like, these are the questions. How are we doing? How are we going to do? Which also required me to go to swing deals because I'm like, we're doing good, but there's some swing deals. And then it was me realizing the reps had slipping deals and they were like, what deals are coming in this week? And you had to say this. This stuff's cool, but this is how I'd look at mine. Sound good? All right, boys. That's what I got for the day. I hope to see you guys very soon. A lot of new changes coming too shortly. So keep stay tuned.
Thanks, Mike.
All right, bro. Good to see you.